All right, party people, party people. What's up, party people? And hello, my friends. It's your girl. Welcome to China and welcome to my channel. Y'all already know I got my special guest. But before I introduce y'all, let's get into this countdown. It is Hump Day Tea with Cookie LeB.A.P. All right, party people, as you already know, it is Hump Day with Cookie LeB.A.P. Cookie LeB.A.P, go ahead and introduce yourself and we'll get into it.
Hey, how are you guys doing? Hey, welcome to China. Thank you again for inviting me to your channel. And let me just tell you, I cannot wait to get into all this tea we have today. I see you have some inspirational tea, some juicy tea, and some interesting tea. I just love it. I can't
I
wait.
love it. I love it. So I think today we're going to go ahead and get straight into it. I think we're going to go ahead and get into that interesting tea that we're talking about, which is the cicadas.
Yeah.
So for those who do not know, it is cicada season. I've been seeing the cicadas, which is like this insect that comes every 13 to 17 years online. Now, what do you know about cicadas while I pull up this article?
I just know that when I was a kid and I finally, like when I learned about cicadas and how they were, every 17 years they go into a deep slumber and then they have a mating season afterwards. I thought it was just so fascinating. And then so many of them. I even got a chance to taste cicadas once at the Taste of Chicago. I don't remember the flavor.
Oh my God, you tried a cicada?
Yeah, definitely. I don't remember the flavor at all. The only flavor I remember that I've tried a couple of bugs before, and crickets were actually pretty good. But I heard cicadas.
I've heard of that.
Yes.
I've heard of the crickets. I've heard of the crickets. All right, so that's a lot closer to cicadas than I've ever been. We will go ahead and read through this. We got a greetings from MGN440. Thank you very much, MGN. Greetings. Hope you're having a great day. And same to your guests. Thank you very much, MGN, one of my beloved subscribers. Shout out to you. Hugs and kisses. And of course, my girl Livy Rose is ready for the tea. So let's go ahead and get into it. So you guys, the first article I'm going to go ahead and pull up is cicadas are arriving. What are they? Where are they from? Do they bite or sting? Because it's a lot of people who maybe have only been on this earth for 13 and or 17 years, right? So, maybe they didn't have an opportunity to really, see a cicada. So it says the cicadas are coming, and this is from USA Today. Cicadas have arrived in some states. Can they bite or sting? Are they dangerous to pets? What you need to know. After hanging underground for 17 years, a new brood of periodical cicadas have officially popped into people's backyards. This year, a group of cicadas known as Brood X is expected to appear in the District of Columbia, D.C., and at least 15 other states: Delaware, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, and West Virginia. So that's about half of the states in the country.
Right. Definitely. Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
It's a lot, definitely. All the way from from Chicago to Washington, D.C., basically,
They're all over. They're from the sea to shining sea. Shit.
Yeah.
That's a lot. It's a lot of cicadas. It says people are already posting videos of cicada sightings in backyards and homes. Dr. Beverly Howard photographed her two twin daughters taking a peek. I wish my kids would start picking up cicadas. I would be like, oh my God. I don't know.
That stays outside with the rest of the trillions that are there.
That's what I'm saying. You let your kids go up and play with all these cicadas?
Honestly, yes. I remember my auntie and I to go on bug safaris all the time. And my favorite bug to look for were grubs, because grubs had like a see-through
A grub?
Yes, I loved it. It was so like cool back when you're a kid. That's also cool.
It gives you the ooh and the ahs of it. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't think they're dangerous, but it says, what are they? This group of periodical cicadas are called brood X, have been feeding on sap from roots of plants underground for the last 17 years. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's fascinating to me. I thought it was so fascinating when I heard about it the first time.
Yeah, insects are like wild creatures. That is something I can appreciate them from afar. But, you know,
Just imagine like if humans like they don't come out for 17 years, you know?
that's what I'm saying. I wish a lot of people would be gone for 17 years and for eternity. Shit, let me stop.
Right?
It says after emerging, they will spend 2 to 4 weeks courting, mating, flying, driving people crazy, and being eaten up by everything. What do we know about them? They will appear white once they shed out of their skin, which I know about the exoskeleton, and it's really crunchy too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, ooh. As for loud noises, you know, they're part of the, to my knowledge, they're part of the cricket family.
I don't know. I would say honestly, but I can see they both sound alike. Like
Yeah, I think that's what I read, but it doesn't say it on here. It says, are they dangerous? They don't sting or bite on animals, dogs, or cicadas. It says I read that like 80 ways backwards. It says they don't sting or bite. If an animal or dog eats a few dozen cicadas, they will be okay. However, if you eat hundreds in one sitting, it can experience bowel obstructions. So just as long as your cat and or dog is not eating mouthfuls upon bowlfuls of cicadas, they'll be okay.
I don't know. My dog's definitely not into bugs, so I'm glad. He's a bit of a picky eater.
Okay, so that's what you got to worry about getting no cicadas out of their stool.
Yes.
And they said if you, what you say?
That's some interesting tea, though.
It is. They're saying, listen, if you see a cicada in your backyard, let the cicadas be cicadas.
Yes. Period.
So we'll let them be. But something else that I saw that was interesting was the Atlantic had an article saying that basically it's going to be very hard for people to eat outdoors. It said C19 is now over with and a lot more people eat outdoors. You know, it's kind of been a thing that people may not want to be eating outside with the cicadas.
Yes, definitely. I definitely know that like everybody, especially my family, especially has been like ever since the panorama has been getting a little bit more lightened up and stuff, that they just want to go outside. They want to eat outside restaurants. I mean, you just got done talking about how I had a late Mother's Day with my mom, and it was outside on the balcony. It was beautiful. So I just couldn't imagine while we were eating our pizza and we had extra cicada toppings. You know, like it just.
Not the cicada toppings. Cicada toppings for me. See, yeah, no, we're good on that. So that's a cicada talk. That like makes my skin crawl, like just thinking about cicadas.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but I'll let them be. I mean, nothing is worse to me than like bumblebees. I'm not a bee person. Those type of like flying insects I can't get with. Spiders. You know, typical things that scare me. But it seems like you're not scared of bugs.
It's the circumstances. So like if I'm at a restaurant outside, I'm not expecting to have cicadas fly all over my food. I can see that being very unpleasant. But like if I am going on the bug safari, I'm the first one there. You know.
Okay, so you gotta have your mind right. Like, okay, we're gonna go look out. You know, your aunt's like, we're gonna go do this thing. You're excited. You're geeked up. Yes. Then that seems like that's more of a setting for cicadas, which is fair.
Very
okay. All right. So that's the cicadas, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into Mr. Bill Gates. Now, our last Bill Gates video did some numbers, didn't it?
It definitely did. It was interesting. I knew it was going to because of the topic, though. That topic was very juicy. And this topic still is. It's just unfolding.
It's unfolding. And definitely, you know, messing with his career is definitely... You know, this is, we have a couple of comments about the cicadas. Yeah. Just fry them up, put some hot sauce on them from BB Bean. Hello, BB Bean. I don't know if maybe the hot sauce with the crunch of maybe a piece of chicken. I don't know. And then Emma L says, hello, what is up, Emma L? Hello to you, my dear. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the Bill Gates situation. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this article from the New York Times. And the headline from this, before we talk about him still wearing his wedding ring, which is a little bit interesting, because that's the topic for today, is his historical past of being messy, basically, saying that he had a questionable behavior and reputation even before all of this.
And it's like there's something like everybody knew about, but it's like now it's starting to come to limelight.
To the point, yes, he was kicking it with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, I was just like, when I saw it.
Yeah, it says long before the divorce, Bill Gates had a reputation for questionable behavior. Melinda Gates voiced concerns about her husband's relationship with Jeffrey E. and harassment claim against his money manager. He also had an affair with an employee. Look at that face. Look at Uncle Bill.
Yes, playa. Okay. So, you know, when I first read this article, the more we get deeper into Bill Gates' story, the more I can see why Melinda might want to separate from someone who takes part in some of these questionable behaviors.
Okay.
And, you know, I can see it being very, I can see it maybe being embarrassing for her, you know, for colleagues of her husband knowing about multiple affairs and others that are in her close circle, knowing how her own husband interacts with his own employees, you know.
Look at Bill. Look at him. Look at him. He over there like, yeah, hello, employees. That picture she looks scary in that picture. It's just some he over here. BB Bean says, if it's the world's richest man cannot keep a woman happy, who can?
Oh my God.
They talk about the high value men cheating and wanting to use their options when it looks like he loves to use his options. Sarah said, LOL. Mm-hmm. It seems like Bill Gates is going to be getting loose. So let's go ahead and get into these allegations that you were alluding to that you read in this prior article, because we want to know. So it says in 2018, Miss French Gates wasn't satisfied with her husband's handling of a previously undisclosed sexual harassment claim against his longtime money manager. According to two people familiar with the matter, after Mr. Gates moved to settle the matter confidentially, Miss French Gates insisted on an outside investigation. The money manager, Michael Larson, remains in his job. Wow. So the first claim is this. They're basically saying that his money manager had a harassment claim against him, and Melinda didn't like the way that Bill handled that claim. And long story short, the man still was working there. So that really answers your question here, correct?
Right. So wait, so Michael Larson is a man?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Bill's plan. I see. Definitely. That's definitely like some allegation. I feel like the more we talk about it, the more I'm getting more of a picture. And it's like, oh, this is unfolding more than I expected.
But I think now is the claim, okay, wait. I don't think it's between Bill and the manager engaging.
Okay, wait, because it said, wait, let me reread this.
No. Okay, so I got it. So basically, Bill's money manager got accused of doing something to someone else.
Okay.
And Bill didn't let him go or handle it properly.
Now I'm getting it. I get it now.
And that made Melinda upset. So she did her own investigation on Michael Larson himself.
Alrighty. I thought the sexual harassment.
I thought Bill was getting loose with I thought Bill was going both ways. That's okay, but.
And then I thought the money manager was like like a lady that had filed a sexual harassment. Or something like that, but no. Yep. Now that you clarified it for me, I definitely see it now. All right, yep. But still some juicy tea.
That's juicy.
Yeah,
that's juicy. It says on at least a few occasions, Mr. Gates pursued women who worked with him at Microsoft, Mr. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, according to people who directly knew them and their overtures. So.
Yeah, this really shows kind of a little bit of a window in the work environment in Bill Gates' company.
He wasn't keeping it healthy.
No.
It was just wealthy.
Yes.
Well, it's just not healthy. It says in 2019, Microsoft's board of directors, on which Mr. Gates sat, an open investigation into one of the cases after being notified he had sought to initiate an intimate relationship with a company employee. Let me read that again. In 2019, Microsoft's board of directors, on which Mr. Gates sat, opened an investigation into one of those cases after being notified that he had sought to initiate an intimate relationship with a company employee in the year 2000. Frank X. Shaw, a Microsoft spokesman, said on Sunday. The board hired a new law firm to investigate. The following year, Mr. Gates stepped down from the Microsoft's board. Now, this is Bill Gates' own claims. Right. That when he was sitting on the board, when he sat on the Microsoft's board of directors in 2019, he tried to open an intimate relationship with someone at the company.
Wow.
So Microsoft is his. We know he created it, but, you know, they buy it, they sell it, they give other people positions. So it was his, but he was still cutting up. He liked to touch on the ladies or something. He liked something.
Definitely. That's where I was getting. So he was touching on the ladies in his own company. Correct. Oh, alleged.
Mm-hmm. Allegedly. It says there was an affair among almost 20 years ago, which ended amicably, said Bridget Arnold, a spokeswoman for Mr. Gates. Gates' decision to transition off board was in no way related to this matter. Okay.
So it's like it seems like it could be, but they're saying that it isn't.
Yeah, so but I think that it's something onto this. It's something onto this. So Sarah's laughing.
Right.
Sarah thinks this is funny. BBB said, "Oh, I was confused. I thought you were saying Bill was bisexual." That's what I'm saying. That was very confusing the way that they wrote that. I was like, yeah. This is what good.
We both were doing.
Yeah, I was like, at this point, we not judging. We wouldn't be surprised. We never know. We never know.
Listen, you know, with money, things get a little funny.
Listen, it's okay. It's okay. So now let's get to the Epstein drama. It says, there then was Jeffrey Epstein, whom Gates got to know in the beginning of 2011, 3 years after Epstein, who faced accusations of trafficking of girls, pleaded guilty to soliciting prostitution from a minor. Miss Gates had expressed discomfort with her husband spending time with the offender. So to me, this seems like Melinda has been expressing that Bill is not the man who he said he was, or he was cracked up to be. He's becoming an old, dirty, old man.
Yeah. I think, you know, with power and definitely having power for such a long time, you know, things start to change probably. And I feel like, I honestly do, like I said earlier, I think that Melinda was getting a little bit embarrassed.
Yeah, it's too much. She seems like she's overall a good, we don't know her, but she seems like she's a good lady. Obviously, she's married to a millionaire. We all have our faults. But it seems like, you know, she tried to stick it, you know, the affairs with Ann Winbaugh probably was that. That was probably something she agreed to and was fine. It probably would have been fine. But now it's this other stuff. He couldn't just stick to Ann every year.
Exactly.
But that was a red flag.
Exactly. It was like she already had agreements to try to help him, you know, give him more room, some more space. But now I feel like he kind of pushed her boundaries way too far. You know?
He did. Yeah, it was too much. BBB says Bill Gates was unaware of the Me Too movement. That's what I'm saying. No, he just didn't give a damn. That's all that it was. Bill Gates didn't care. So it's more. On October 2019, when the relationship between Gates and Epstein burst into public view, Miss French Gates was unhappy. She hired divorce lawyers, setting in motion a process that culminated this month with the announcement. Ooh, now that is some tea. Now I'm gonna pull this article, but tell me what you think about this. This was the last straw. Epstein was the last straw.
Yeah, that was it. Like, it was just too much. Like, you know, it was just I just couldn't imagine.
Now here's the boys. Is that our man? Is that our boy Big Bill? Okay, New York Times. I'm not buying this, New York Times. You're not getting no money out of me.
Right.
What? I know they're not gonna do this to me right now. Right when I pulled it. Somebody got to create an account. They really pulling it on us.
They did that.
They did that. Okay. Let me know what you think about this. I got to pull this up somewhere else.
Yes, definitely. So, yeah, you saw the picture and everything.
How do you feel about him being friends with him?
Oh, yeah. I completely agree with Melinda. I understand. Like, I definitely wouldn't want to be in love with. I just couldn't be in the same place as a man who would, you know, be friends with somebody that we know has been proven to do some very malicious and heinous things. Like,
I found some tea. Tea. Olivia saying, damn. Oh, I got some ads coming up. Oh my goodness. I hate these like ads. And the share screen sharing. Olivia said, I'd leave him too. I think everybody would probably leave Bill Gates. This is more than we signed up for. Money or all. Oh, she'll have enough money. You know, it ain't about the money.
It's not about the money anymore at that point. It's about her sanity, I feel.
Yeah, she can worry about her happiness later, we'll say. So this says right here, those familiar with the matter said Melinda concerns regarding Epstein, who was convinced of soliciting underage in 2008, dated back as far as 2013 when they first met him. So Epstein was, you know, in my opinion, allegedly, but it's been proven, he was assaulting and touching women and doing all types of weird stuff with underage girls way before Bill Gates even came into the picture. So Melinda was hip to this. They hung in those circles. So this said 2008. Bill started kicking it with him in 2013. Other reports suggest that Bill Gates' ties may date back earlier than 2013. Gates reportedly met Epstein multiple times in 2011, 3 years after his first conviction, including at least 3 meetings in Manhattan at Epstein's townhouse. The New York Times reported 2019 citing interview with more than a dozen people.
I see. Wow. Okay, and there goes the picture.
So that's the picture. And then it was also another article that I saw that was saying Bill Gates thought that Jeffrey Epstein was the ticket to his Nobel Peace Prize. Basically saying that they felt that, you know, this would have been the next thing for Bill Gates if he got with Epstein. Because Epstein was he's a big time man, you know. Mm-hmm. All the things aside, people still wanted to be around him. He hung with the best of the best. Right. The powerful is powerful, you know?
Exactly.
But so, this is, go ahead.
And that's one thing. It's like, is everybody who, and I only ask this just to be more of just like, I'm not the type of person who like jumps over and go like, this is right, this is wrong. But I also think does everybody that Epstein hang out with, will they unfortunately be cast a negative light on? What if they were just hanging out with them?
You know what? That's you crossed my mind with that really quick. And then you guys, I'm going to get into the comments because we got some comments. It was interesting because they said the way that he met him in Manhattan and then this Nobel Peace Prize headline, Bill probably saw past all the Me Too things, good, bad, or indifferent, to get to the bag and get to further where he wanted. His ticket to a Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah. The prize Bill wanted more than anything. Money can't buy that. Technology cannot buy that. Getting a Nobel Peace Prize, this is other things you're doing in a community, doing other things with other businessmen, you know, making those other connections. Yeah. You know, they just don't give a Nobel Peace Prize to anybody.
Exactly.
So it maybe have been on a business tip, but that doesn't mean, you know, Bill has been turning the blind eye. I think that's what's upsetting everybody.
Exactly. It was just like, why would you work with a man who has these accusations against them?
Yeah, it's upsetting, but it's not. Is it surprising? Of course not. Of course not. Okay, so we got some comments. It says, why are they calling Melinda Gates French Gates? I think I never knew her name in general. So I think maybe she went by Melinda French Gates in general. Maybe she went by French Gates, but I don't know. It says Melinda learned from Jeff Bezos' wife. She was probably ahead of Jeff Bezos' wife with this one. They said since October 2019, BBB. It says, I can't believe from Miss Dramatica, one of my beloveds. I cannot believe people trust him with their lives. The vaccine has been planning this all along. Ooh. Then that's when it gets to the too.
Yes. I do believe that that the French Gates, it looks like in the article that it might be her middle name because it says like Melinda French Gates voiced.
Oh.
You know, so I think it probably is just a middle name and it was just, you know.
So she kind of uses, a lot of people use their names, you know, in those eclectic ways. Libby says the fact that he's so rich and has so much power, people turned a blind eye for the most part and kept praising him for his achievements. And look, and according to this article, and we won't stay on this forever, it looks like he was just worried about all of his achievements anyway. You know, this just looks like, I'll read through this really quick. It says Bill Gates enjoyed holding court at Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan mansion, allegedly seeking refuge from his marriage and talking with the sex offender circle of high-profile dinner guests about philanthropy and other worldly topics. So Bill Gates' marriage was already, they say, ixnay. They said he would go off to go kick it because Melinda already knew 5 years prior what kind of man Bill was. She didn't like him as a person no more.
No, honestly.
So now Bill Gates is saying, I mean, they're saying on here, excuse me, that Bill would go kick it with him, and he wanted to kick it with Epstein's people. Epstein and Bill were in two different fields. Epstein was business. Yeah. Bill is super geek, super nerd, which is fine, but he's tech, computers, technology. He needed to cross over to get to that Nobel Peace Prize area.
Yeah. And so he set aside all of those just to make him, you know, because he wanted that profit, that business to get to the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yep. And then it says right here, this person said members of the foundation's communications teams were alerted Gates' relationship with Epstein, but were told it was a maneuver to try to get him a Nobel Peace Prize. So Bill trying to network again. He don't care. Bill cared about what he had going on. Melinda was a woman, his wife. Everything was taken care of, honestly. So it wasn't her concern. She had to be concerned about other things. Bill was too far gone to me.
Yeah, honestly. And I don't think that, you know, since he was that powerful, nobody was going to really check him, you know. And the thing is, and that's one thing, is nobody above you to kind of tell you that you might be doing something wrong or this might not be the best for you. You know, nobody's real. Checks and balances. We're all humans and stuff, and I think like when you have that much power, you are more likely to make so bigger mistakes because now there's nobody above you to say, hey, that's wrong.
What's going on? It is nothing. It's no threshold for that. So I'm saying it was way more than that. Miss Dramatica said that anybody see the video of him getting pied? I'm about to look that up. I guess is it a video? You got to give us more context on that. There's a video of Bill Gates getting pied. I don't watch any Bill Gates.
A picture of that.
Oh, you did? Okay, so I'll pull that later. Yeah. And then you cannot judge a book by its cover, obviously, because that's how he gets down. I'm gonna just work my way through this a little bit longer. We are aware of the things that were potential reputational risks for the foundation and its co-chairs. Bill and Melinda said the former employee, even back to then, people knew this guy wasn't squeaky clean. Gates thought Epstein would be able to help him. He knew that he would know the right people or some kind of way to massage things so he can get the Nobel Peace Prize. So that's what I'm saying. People will think that money comes with things that you can get, but when it comes down to the Nobel Peace Prize, that's a whole different
ball game.
That's a whole different literally, that's a whole different thing. While I finish up reading this, can you pull up for me, what are the credentials to get a Nobel Peace Prize? And I'll read this to everybody else, okay?
Okay, I can pull that up real quick. Yeah.
All right, pull that for us. What are the credentials to get one? Because I want to know now. So this says, I think he was ultimately disappointed. It didn't work out, obviously. Epstein was known for cultivating the Rolodex of elite contacts from around the globe, billionaires, royal celebrities, this, that, and the third. Honestly, in my opinion, Bill Gates, if he did care about the Me Too, just to, dumb it down for people, to care about the movement or, women getting harassed and all the horrible things Epstein was doing, he would know that Epstein's time would only be for so long. You're going to end up dead or in jail, just like a drug dealer, okay? Same thing when you are a pedophile, okay? Same deal. So, it does suck. So all that for nothing. Now we're dragging Bill during his divorce, and Epstein ain't here no more, and conspiracies theoried away, and Bill's still dealing with the repercussions that he didn't get what he wanted out of it. It wasn't Epstein's money. He had enough money.
Right. Definitely. He definitely had enough money. And then, so I'm looking more into the Nobel Peace Prize and
pandemic. Oh, I've never seen that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I Googled it up a little bit, and it says a little bit right here. According to Nobel's will, the Peace Prize shall be awarded to the person who in the preceding year shall have done the most or the best work for fraternity between nations, for abolition or reduction of standing armies, and for the holding and promotion of peace congresses. So that's the credentials, right?
And that's nothing Bill Gates had. He probably had everything else but those things. It's being a good person. It's giving back, the philanthropy, the connections. People really see you to be a value and an asset. He can give us internet, but does that make the world go round? Kind of. But to these people, it's a whole different. people who have Nobel Peace Prizes are like authors, scientists, some actors, some people who are like very, real philanthropists, writers, sculpturists, artists, that type of thing.
Exactly. And I feel like I think that with so much power, Bill had a goal to further immortalize himself and his legacy. And so I think that he believed that he deserved a Nobel Peace Prize.
That was it. That was the last thing.
Yes. Yeah, it was a goal for him. And he said, I'm going to reach it. I've reached all my other goals. Why can't I reach this one as well?
Why can't he reach that one as well?
Yeah.
And now all of that mess start coming out and everybody. So, whew. So that's Bill Gates. That was some tea. We got a couple of comments before we debrief on that. Says, so does Bill Gates not care about people? He just wants to win the Nobel Peace Prize. I believe it was just the Nobel Peace Prize, because what else? Why does he need to care about us? He gave us Microsoft and Windows 97, 98, 99. He said, what else do y'all need from me? He did enough. He said, let me have my girlfriend overseas and let me hang out with Epstein and talk about my wife and leave me alone. That's what he's saying.
That's hilarious. Yes.
A mess. That was the last thing. Okay. Mr. Radica says he has a worse reputation because he did dirty dealings with Microsoft, and then all of a sudden he switched his image to to be a philanthropic techie. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he got into it. That's why he wasn't a board member anymore. He was just being a sleazeball, at the end of the day. Maybe he wasn't such an awful person always, but
and the philanthropy, I guess, be more of like a PR kind of thing.
A front. He had the money for it. At the end of the day, people who still need money to do philanthropy. You are really you, but it's then the care about it. It's not you just donating. It's the actual care and effort into something with your philanthropy. People take that serious.
Yes, exactly.
So anyway, that's Bill Gates. Let me know what y'all think in the comments about that. Make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe button and hitting that thumbs up. Make sure y'all are checking out Cookie LeB.A.P's channel as well, because we are here, y'all. Now we got to go ahead and get into Miss Lovato. Cool for the summer. Dun, 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 dun. So I'm not going to lead on how I feel about this, because this is just, Demi has just been doing. Yeah. It's been a lot of Demi lately, okay?
Yeah. One thing I think I kind of like about Demi is that she's very outgoing. She speaks her mind.
She's back in action.
Yes. And so, today Demi Lovato has announced that they identify as non-binary and has changed their pronouns to they, them. And so she made this announcement on Twitter along with a clip with her new podcast, 4D with Demi Lovato. And, my thought on this, I think it's wonderful news. I am proud of her, and I have a lot of respect for her to come out as well. Demi Lovato will be a queer, non-binary individual that others who are similar can look up to because of her bravery that she expressed today. So yeah, definitely.
I'm sorry, no, I didn't mean to have the delay after that. I was pulling the article, but I guess we'll talk about it. I'm like, that's what it is. So Demi Lovato is coming out as no more. They have retired. I'm over here already hesitating. Demi Lovato, who you have known has went by she, her, hers, is now going by they, them. So what that means is she doesn't identify with one gender. She no longer identifies as being a female. Now, for me, my only hesitation with Demi Lovato was that the froyo thing rubbed me the wrong way. It's a lot going on. We've seen the documentary, all of this. I just feel like she's had so many other ample opportunities to share this with us, and she doesn't strike me as the type, because she's so outgoing, to hold this from us. So I'm like, was she waiting for the right time? But I don't know if her intentions of telling us right now were necessarily for to just tell us. It's about to be Pride Month. There's a lot of other things that I feel will still be beneficial to Demi Lovato. And I feel like that's still a side to her as well. She's an entertainer, she's an actor, she's a singer. So you still look for those things, and she still has those. So that's where my mind is. But I want to hear what you're saying off of what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I feel like it's either that, or she might have felt that maybe her coming out, maybe in the past, she wouldn't have been acknowledged as much as she wanted. And that would have probably affected her greatly. I think that maybe she wasn't in the mental space because, she has been dealing with a lot lately, and I think that Demi Lovato, personality-wise, is quite sensitive in a way.
That's very true.
And I can see her being very hesitant. Like the Froyo thing, I can see her, that was more of her expressing her sensitivity, her emotions about how she believed that they were fat shaming for their advertisement. And, I can see Demi Lovato, she has that personality type when something...
To take it.
Yeah.
She don't take it that way, to knee jerk.
Yeah.
And she still suffers, and it's like, okay, I have anxiety, so I have knee jerk reactions, and I act like a totally different person. Like Demi Lovato really does suffer from, I don't want to misdiagnose her, but she suffers from some, mental things where it alters sometimes how you feel, how you act, how you react. So I feel like that's like a huge part of reactions as being a human, celebrity or not. If you suffer from anxiety, depression, BPD, all those different things, borderline, all those things affect you in your every day-to-day basis and your reactions. I have anxiety, so like I know how I react to certain things. So I feel like it was a knee jerk for her as well. So I get that, and that changes my mind on it a little bit about, and I see that how she could be protecting her space, because I can relate to that and empathize with that,
Yeah,
So
that's one thing I try to empathize. Like I could see, like, because like I was like, okay, Demi, you didn't have to go on the Froyo like that, but
you
could tell that she really was emotional about it. Like there was something that hurt her, that hit her about it, for her to go off like that, and so that's why I could just tell, like, Demi's a bit of a sensitive person. So she probably, one thing that when things hurt her feelings, she's going to just go after it like that. That's just how she is. But I do, in a way, going back to the non-binary, I find myself in a way connecting towards it, because I know in my perception.
Oh my goodness, I have my wrong my wrong tagline going down for my live stream later. It's like, should men and women be the same? I'm like, oh shoot, what is this? Ignore that at the bottom, you guys. This is about Demi Lovato. Go ahead.
Comedy, entertainment.
Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
So I know for me, in my perception, this is someone I can, in some aspects, look up to for her bravery. Even though I still represent myself as a cis male, my sexual orientation is gay, and my gender expression is gender nonconforming. So that means that I express myself, that can be uncommon for someone who still for people who still represents as a man, like I do.
Yeah.
My actions and the way that I dress, speak, and even walk can be more feminine and yet more masculine, depending on the circumstances, which really does confuse a lot of people. And I can see people who are non-binary, or anyone of that matter whose gender/sexual orientation could be considered different from the norm, experiencing those same things.
I feel that, because I did a live stream on one of my diva dives about with someone who was transgender and someone who was non-binary or non-gender conforming. And it's interesting because I also watch, Armand Wiggins, the guy who I told you about. So he has his show on Voice Chat, and people, he's like, sometimes if I'm out with one of my girlfriends, the way that I'm carrying myself, if I'm dressed a little bit more masculine, or if I have on a leather jacket and boots, they may think that I'm her girl, I'm her boyfriend, or, it depends. But now if I'm going out to brunch with my guys or with some of the girls and we having a key, then I'm going to be a little bit more lax. But if I'm walking down the street and, I need to protect myself and I want to, buff up a little bit, then I'm going to use that as well. So that can be confusing to a lot of people, which is something that I do understand. And I know for a fact it's true, because I do it as a woman. We all do it sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah, it's something that is all. Yeah, everybody does. By the way, I love Armand. What's this?
Armand Wiggins, I love him. My
Armand
favorite.
Wiggins show. I love his show. I do
Love his show. We're gonna one day we're gonna be able to get on a stream with Armand. We're gonna
Yes, that'd be great.
Okay, we have a couple of comments really quick. So BB Bean says she is brave. That is brave. It's always brave. So I'm not gonna hate on that.
Definitely.
I'm not gonna hate on that. And then Mr. Medica says, as long as she's not trying to destroy small businesses, she can call herself whatever. This sounds like a clout move. Okay, so that's where we're at, but that was a little bit longer into our conversation.
Right now,
BB Bean
perspective. I love it.
Said cool. BB Bean said could be. I'm also worried people she had left in her wake. All right. Olivia Rose says, personally, I think that the froyo was a step back at the end of the day. This person came out as non-binary, and that should be respected, just like any other human. So, again, that's positive. Those are still separate things. Right. But in my mind, I feel like for people who are aware or part of the LGBTQ plus community, you're going to automatically have that awareness, and I'm not. It's just like being black or being of a different race or different things. So, like, you know, my reaction was me thinking about all the other things that she's doing, and then I feel like somebody who's a part of the community may feel like, oh, you know, that's going to be the first thing to empathize with those things. So just human reactions are different, or sometimes now I'm having the same full circle reaction as everybody else. But at first I was like, is this another clout move?
Yeah, I can see that definitely, especially because of all these other like small incidents that Demi Lovato has been getting herself, their self into. See, I definitely have to make sure I adjust myself too.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, and it's like, I feel like people who are non-binary or who do change their pronouns, they do leave space for most of the time. Some people are foul about it. Most of the time, people do leave the space for people to be able to readjust. And I had a conversation like this on that other live stream I was telling you about can you tell if people's intentions are right or wrong, or if somebody's trying to misgender you on purpose. You can tell when people are trying to do that.
Exactly. That's why, like, I try to correct myself as soon as possible, because I do have a lot of friends that transition, and even those times I have to have a little bit of time to readjust. But I usually, after a while, I'm like, okay, I got it now, definitely.
You got it. And it's just like, you have to think about it. I was telling people when I was working in politics, it's just like if you changed your name. So if my name is China and I went by Monica, you would slip up and call me China. I'm like, my name's Monica now, but you would leave the space and be like, I changed my name. So those are, you have to think about it like that. You're changing your name, you respect it. If somebody wanted to change their name, you say more power to you. You feel happier like that. You want to be Diddy, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy. If you want to be Snoop Dogg, Snoop Lion, you can be who you want to be, but you're still going to be the same person. Those are probably the best examples, but you know what I mean. And then, so Mr. Manica, BB Bean, we're going back and forth. We're talking about Wilder Valderrama. Yeah, it seems like she's been going through it. The only relationship she seemed to last was with her and Wilmer. You remember when she was dating Wilder Valderrama? From that 70s show?
Actually, yes.
A long time ago. She loved him. That was very clear. She loved him. This is Morgan, my best friend, Morgan. Miss China Cookie LeB.A.P. We love to see it. Morgan loves our live stream. Morgan loves our stream.
I'm not going to lie. I love Morgan. Morgan, I was talking to her on comments from the last episode.
Oh, were you really? Morgan loves you.
Yes, I appreciate interactions. Yeah.
Mr. Attica, she loves our mom. We love her. That's so funny. It's all like-minded people. We all like the same stuff. So.
Yes.
So, all right. So those are all of our comments and our readjustings. But my last question is, which way did Demi announce that she was changing her pronouns? I didn't even get that far into my research. How did she share it? If you don't know off top, well, I'll look. I genuinely don't know. Oh, it says, Twitter. The pop star made an announcement on Twitter sharing a clip from their new podcast 4D with Demi Lovato. Mm-hmm. So it says, every day we wake up, we should be given another opportunity and chance to love. Oh, shoot. Mother sucker. Every day we wake up and we are given an opportunity and chance to be who we want and wish to be. The Dancing with the Devil hitmaker wrote, I've spent the majority of my life growing up in front of you. You've seen good, bad, and all and everything in between. Not only has my life been a journey for myself, I was also living for those in the other side of cameras, they added. Today is a day I'm happy to share my life with you, and I am proud to let you know I identify as non-binary, and I will officially be changing my pronouns. So that was her announcement. Now, what this reminded me of, and I think Olivia is still here. Olivia, if you're still here, let me know if you're still in the comments. Now, do you know who Trisha Paytas is?
No.
She's a YouTuber. Okay, so Trisha Paytas is a YouTuber. She's like an OG YouTuber, like Shane Dawson era. Okay, so like those.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I know Shane Dawson. Yeah.
So she's recently, they used to be friends before the drama. So she recently came out as non-binary, saying that she sometimes feels, but now, you know, to the human eye, she's into the hair, the makeup, all that, glitz and glam, blonde, pink, all that. That's her. That was her brand. She has came out saying that sometimes she feels more masculine, sometimes she feels, you know, more in, you know, feminine, but when someone identifies and calls her, you know, they or them, then she feels much better about that. And just like her whole, I'm gonna see if I can pull it really quick.
I can see that because it
just makes you feel different. Yeah.
Yeah, it represents both of her expressions, you know, feminine and masculine. They or them, you know, because
yeah, here it is right here. So Trish should be getting into it. She'd be crying, doing all types of stuff. Mr. Medica, subscribe to you, Cookie. Woo-da-hoo,
guys, woo-hoo, thank
you. I love Mr. Medica. You'll love his channel. You guys definitely check out Cookie's channel. You guys will absolutely love his channel. He does this weekly thing on Mondays called Life Magazine. And I'm not gonna tell y'all what that means because you have to figure it out. Yeah. But he'll explain it. Secret. And he has a wonderful video about him going to New Orleans and going to hang out with all his family, his man, all that. So they was having a good time. So make sure you guys are definitely checking out Cookie LeB.A.P. All right. And then Livy says today Trish was feeling like Troy Bolton again today. See, that's what I'm saying. I love Trisha Paytas, but it's like Trisha Paytas is just like, she's silly, she's fun. And I definitely would want to feel like Troy Bolton today. You know, too. Who wouldn't want to be Zac Efron, you know? So this is her. I think you've had to see Trisha Paytas before. I don't know. Maybe you have not. You might not have.
No, I haven't. So
this is her. But it says, YouTuber Trisha Paytas announced they are non-binary. I'm non-binary, and she gives credit to the TikTok Gen Z. Now, that in itself is interesting to me because she says, I have days I identify as he, him. I identify as a man. But that is because half of my shell a lot of the times doesn't fit that of a man. I'm more cis female or girly girl or drag queen. Like I told you, she's like cookie cutter girl, girly looking. So that was interesting that she came out and said that because I was like, okay, I get that. But that is really thanks to Gen Z. And that is really thanks to the new age kids. This is her right here. Mm-hmm. This is Trisha.
That's fabulous.
So she gets down with the get down. Yeah. So love Trisha Paytas. So that was interesting though, because I'm like, people have always felt this way and been living in their masculine energy or living in their feminine energy and just thought, I just have to be called a woman or a man. And I really feel like both, or I feel like one or the other. So I do get that people haven't had a way to really explain it, you know, or to articulate how you feel on the inside. So it is a positive thing that the Gen Z and, you know, new age kids have brought the TikToker age.
Representation matters, definitely. And people are for it. Or people are for it today. And I love it, definitely.
We're here for it. We love it. All right, so we got a couple more comments. Sometimes I feel like a chicken nugget. That's what I'm saying. That's her. I'm going to send you some of her videos. So we're going to talk about her next time, okay? Because I think you'll enjoy her.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys, my computer is about to die. That means we're coming up on time.
Yeah.
We're almost done. We're almost out of here. But Cookie, tell us where we can find you. Tell us where you're at. Tell us all of your hats and handles. Ooh.
I don't know. I think the sound.
Is that me?
It's a little bit of echoey. I don't know if it is or not. I know my it's about to die too, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and just explain it real quick to help. So, in my channel, Cookie LeB.A.P, I do rags reviews and furry shorts too. The title of my rag this time instead is Black Magazine, and you know I keep you updated on joyous, noteworthy events every Monday. And in my review segment, the channel is titled Sensational Reviews, is where I review anything that excites the senses, whether it's sight, sound, smell, taste, or touch. And my new segment furry shorts. It's where I post short clips of various furry critters. But to not be biased, I am going to post my cute critters with scales and shells too. So go on over and subscribe to both of us for cuteness.
Yes, 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 and yes. Livy Rose said she's gonna go ahead and stuff. Oh, our sounds so bad. I don't know what's happening. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you for coming out to Hump Day Tea with China and Cookie LeB.A.P. And we'll get out of here. What happened? All right, y'all, we're getting out of here. Let's see. I think we lost Cookie.